to the run of the race, where it is time to have a look at headquarters. We are back at Ascot, the opening meeting on Saturday afternoon, and Mark, it was so great, both on track and off the track. Perth racing, it's really got a good vibe to it coming into this carnival.
I think you outdid yourself with the introduction to the jockey sprint, Brittany. I've watched it several times now. It's reached about 25,000 people on social media, and I think that's some of your best work. Did
you pick Stephen Parnham as the winner of the jockey sprint?
Everybody told me that Craig Staples would be the one to beat. I know that Stephen Parnham's competed in the City to Surf, so I know he can run. But I was too busy laughing at a few of the other people.
It was very good value. If you haven't seen it, make sure you have a look at Perth Racing's socials, because it was good entertainment to see the jockeys, and what good sports they were as well. All right, let's have a look at what the horses did on the track, and we will start with race number 1. This was a maiden, and it was taken out by Validation.
In front, led the way from the full quid. Validation now third down on the inside of the newcomer Rapid Transit. From off the speed, around them goes Joe Vella before the corner. Trail then further back Mega Chino. From last around them wide Zip Zam Zoom. Relegated to the tail of the field is Need Action. Into the straight at the 350. Marker Sight kicks clear. 2 in front from the full quid. Validation pushing up now on the inside, gets the split. Javella joins in, and so does Zip Zam Zoom. Validation at the 150 got through inside of the full quid to hit the lead. Zip Zam Zoom still runs on. It's Validation. Need Action along the rails late, but Validation wins it.
Validation breaks maiden status, very well deserved after being pretty unlucky last start. Again, found itself in that same sort of position, but look at that figure for the last 600, minus 6.2, so it was a very good run home.
Yeah, it was a slowly run race, and I think that's why you can forgive Zip Zap Zoom. He was out the back, he was carried wide at the 600, his saddle slipped as well, had the fastest 2, 6 and 800 metres, and he was clearly the best through the liners. I think he's the horse to follow out of this race. I think he's crying out for more ground, maybe a faster tempo. I'm sure he'll win one soon. And just forgetting Marquezite here, led what was a very slow tempo, slow sectionals as well, definitely not up to this grade.
All right, race number 2, this was another maiden, albeit this one over the mile. Run very, very slow here, but Sublime Image takes it out.
The pike now, and around them goes Miss Flamboyance on her skates and around the outside of the field quickly before the home bend, being followed by Riding Hood Fame and then Son of the Sun. Back behind those to Rexford. Winifred's hard at it, back in the field, Indian Chant calling it a day, Sulphur Crested and Aoka Frost. Into the straight, 350 to run. Miss Flamboyance had hit the front on straightening. Pike now into the clear with the favourite. Sublime Image around heels and starting to let down quickly under hands and heels. 150 left to go. Miss Flamboyance and Sublime Image. Now he's forced to go for the Persuader on Sublime Image. Sublime Image and Miss Flamboyance, but the favourite gets the head in front. And
Sublime Image, what was a dead set walking race to the 600, plus 12. It's over 12 lengths worse than benchmark to the 600.
Yeah, she did well to win, did Sublime Image, sat 4th in the run and then got the job done. She was deservedly odds on to win this race. I don't think she's one of the better Cerise and White gallopers, so she doesn't make the file. The horses that do, I'm forgiving Miss Flamboyance here, was pretty keen early, was wide for the majority of the race and gapped all bar the winner. Forgetting Prize Nemesis, I think it's the second time we've sacked this horse now. Led what was a very slow tempo, as you've mentioned up the top. Second slowest sectionals, has had plenty of chances. And reluctantly going to follow Winifred out of this race. Fastest last 200, looks like a staying type. Needs a little bit further and certainly a lot faster.
Yeah, it certainly looks like we'll see the best of her once she gets over a bit of a trip. All right, maidens out of the way, let's have a look at one of the more exciting races of the day. It was the initial plate. This is always an exciting time of year when we see the 2-year-old step out for the very first time, and what a cracker edition it was. Take a look at this finish.
From last and out the back, tailed off, is come a little bit closer. By the 550 though, and Convention had sped to the lead. A length Starfield Image, who quickly came off the fence there and got out underneath the neck of Alma Talk, and Neurologic got posted 4 deep. Behind them came to Talker, 2 Spicy. Sweats on a clear run at the top of the home straight though, and running on now is Bumper Humper, followed further back by Dark Assault. Starfield Image hits the front at the 200 though. Starfield Impact the leader, 2 Spicy gets clear, and Bumper Humper's running on, and Talker's coming through in the middle. Over on the inside, it's still Starfield Impact, but they split the line. Golly, there's a tight go forward.
Bumper Humper takes out the initial plate, and well done to Dion Luciani quinellaing the race. And when we have a look at these figures, this is really impressive because these 2-year-olds have flown. They've gone minus 3.6 to the 600, and we had a 3-year-old feature later on in the day that has gone about 5.5 lengths slower than what the 2-year-olds have. So these 2-year-olds have flown early.
Yeah, the horse that led was Convention. I'll come back to him. We'll start with Neurologic. I think it's the Forgive horse out the race. Was wide, fairly green, and also came back shin sore. Will be going to the paddock. We'll not see this horse for quite some time, but there's certainly some ability there. Forgetting coming a little bit closer, was very slow to the 600 compared to the rest of the field, and then didn't finish off anywhere near as well as was entitled to do so. And I will follow Convention out of this race. This was the horse that led the race, minus 3.6 to the 600, including a very fast split from the 8 to the 6, lost a plate. We all know that Paul Jordan gets his horses very, very ready for these type of races. I would not be at all surprised if this horse came out and won.
No, any of those horses that I think could absorb that sort of tempo will be ones we can watch going forward. All right, let's have a look at the next race. Here comes Lenny. They thought maybe he may be a run short, but it was dominant.
From Swift Platinum off her heels, now coming around the outside. My Fair Beauty, Plead the Fifth is squeezing up near the fence, coming into the home corner from High Energy. There's no run for Maserati, but it is absolutely under double wraps. Around the outside, Bunker Buster. Here comes Lenny together. Truly Gold at the ready, then headed the remainder. They're into the home straight, and I'm a Love Man with a kick. High Energy coming at it. Here comes Lenny down the outside, winding up. Bunker Buster flat to the floorboards, but here comes Lenny at the 150 out near the middle. Surges to the lead. A length and a half to High Energy and Truly Gold, but here comes Lenny, dashes away. It's Here Comes Lenny opening up and proving far too good. Second, it might be...
Here Comes Lenny takes out the staying event, recording an overall figure of minus 3.6.
And the figures are the key to this for me, because the favourite in this race was Bunker Buster, opened at $2.40, got out to $3, was shorter in early markets. And if you follow the punting form ratings, you could simply not possibly back that horse at that price. And I think he's the forget horse out of the race. He failed to beat benchmark ratings yet again, and I think he's now been exposed as being just a pretty moderate galloper. The Forgive horse again is Maserati, travelled really, really well to the turn, but had no luck whatsoever coming into the straight when the race was starting to develop. And I will follow Maserati once more here. He's going to win one. He got a fast tempo on Saturday, he just had no luck. Fast tempo and luck, I think he wins one.
Yeah, there has to be one very soon for Maserati, you would think. Well, let's take a look at the next race, and Ebony Maggi takes this one out. Joined Trevor Andrews' stable not too long ago, and he's got this horse going great.
Third, Gillespie around the outside, goes to fourth in front of Three Secrets before the corner. Creative Hero down near the inside, and now Turner starts to work the favourite to the outside of them. Nero Dio coming into the home corner from Friars Fantasia. Tycoon Legend, Princess Zelda. Zeeble, they with a kick, shook them off at the 275. 2 lengths clear, Ebony Maggi and City Chant, Gillespie, Nero Dio. Ebony Maggi comes at Zeeble. It's Zeeble with 150 to go, but Ebony Maggi collars it. It's Ebony Maggi, Zeeble. Further back, Princess Zelda, Friars Fantasia. Ebony Maggi, though, under vigorous riding, too good. And Ebony Maggi won from Zeeble.
Ebony Maggi winning there. The leader has gone almost 3 lengths better than benchmark, and they've come home at just a moderate tempo to record an overall figure of minus 1.7, and that's pretty standard for the class.
Yeah, certainly was. Neither the winner nor the horse that set the pace in Zeeble make the foal. Nero Dio does. He was involved in a pre-race incident. The saddle shifted during running. He came back with an abrasion to one of his fetlocks as well. Completely forgive the run for Nero Dio. Probably should not have gone around. Forgetting Gillespie, this is a serial rogue. This horse was wide in spite of drawing a central gate. I will also make note of Creative Hero only because he opened up favourite, which was absolutely ridiculous. Got out to $11 and that was fair enough. And I will follow Baron Bostock out of this race. He's got Essential Spice form. He had no chance whatsoever from the gate, but he came over with some really, really good sectionals, better drawn. Might be worth wallowing.
I think he's definitely one worth following. I liked the look of him on Saturday, but unfortunately, when you get that far back from the gate, it was always going to be mission impossible. All right, we'll take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll have a look at the back half of the meeting. Welcome back to the run of the race, where we are up to reviewing race number 6, and this one is worth watching because this is where we see Cup Night flash home, minus 10.3 for that last 600, so he is flying home. Take a look.
And Freo had whipped them all in, but Maginica's off and gone, given a bit of rain coming to the corner by McNaught, and the Juggernaut said go. 450 left to run, and Maginica sailed away from them. Quickly raced 3-4 in front, coming around the turn from Alpha Sky, Taxagano and the Velvet King. Then Dutch Spy, followed further back by Forceful and Cup Night. It's Maginica down to the 200 by 3.5 to 4. Here comes the charge, the Velvet King, Cup Night. Maginica's off his feet, the Velvet King and Cup Night closing from Taxagano. Maginica, Cup Night, the Velvet King, Cup Night. They went to the line, Cup Night.
What an exciting galloper we are seeing here at Ascot, recording an overall figure of minus 6.7. The camp seem to think they're going to keep a lid on him, not tax him too much this campaign, but he looks a horse of the future. Certainly
going to come back to Cup Night. We'll start with the Forgive horse, which is clearly the Velvet King here. Excellent return. Had to give 3.5 kilos to the Cup Night as well. Only got beaten that much. So forgiving the Velvet King. Forgetting Freo. He's simply a long way off the form of this time last year when he won the RJ Peter Stakes over the 1500 metres. And following Cup Night, I know he had the weight advantage on Saturday over the Velvet King, but he had the fastest sectionals, very, very good sectionals. And if you look at the breakdown of the race, it was really dominated by the on-speed types. He's the only one from the back that made any ground, and boy, did he make some ground. Certainly a sign of a very nice horse to look at going forward. The next race was over the mile, and a horse that has returned in wonderful order now as a mare is Jetaffair.
The inside now, they've got 2 lengths in front of Nelson's Flight. Missile Launch, he continues to make ground from Jetaffair and Astronomite. They're starting to bunch up now. In behind them, Zero Demerits and Dark Musket. The last couple, the Flirt and Tonka Tough. Into the straight there, homeward bound on the point of the corner. Valago, Nelson's Flight. Missile Launch deep out, still runs on. Bow Count calling it a day. Jetaffair got to run closer towards the inside. Then Dark Musket at the 200 though. Missile Launch, Nelson's Flight. Jetaffair hard up against the rail. Jetaffair, Nelson's Flight. Missile Launch keeps coming. Missile Launch, Nelson's Flight. Jetaffair and Dark Musket. Jetaffair, Nelson's Flight coming again. Split it.
Jetaffair takes out race number 7, and it was particularly good because this mare hadn't really been exposed to good tempo, and here she was in a race that went minus 6.5 to the 600, and she duly saluted. Who makes the files here?
Not Jetaffair, but it was a good performance, minus 2.5 as you mentioned. Forgiving Bow Counter. Look, I think he's probably up in grade now in these 66 pluses, but he didn't get to lead on Saturday. He was pretty uncomfortable, very fast tempo. Give him one more chance if you're a fan of his. Forgetting Valago, this is the horse that did lead. He's a complete law unto himself. He'll win a race and he'll probably blow a field away at some point, but you just simply can't back him with any confidence whatsoever. And Dark Musket's probably an interesting horse out of this race. Finished third. He's working his way towards the Perth Cup via the handicap route. Fastest sectionals. He might snag one of these listed races during the carnival.
Yes, he certainly was flashing home there. All right, let's have a look at the feature of the day. It was the 3-year-old classic, and it was taken out by Amelia's On Fire.
The field and the Caracatta winner settled down last of all. Dig deep, but it's Amarillo Rose who leads the way by the 550. 3/4 of a length in front. Running second over on the outside, Amelia's On Fire. Back on the inside, Divide the Sea. Fourth is High Range. Around its heels, Ginger. In behind them, Jericho Missile, and getting into the clear is Celebrity Queen, but with plenty of ground to make as Amelia's On Fire ranges up, grabs the lead inside the 200 from Amarillo Rose. Divide the Sea, Ginger, then Celebrity Queen, but it's Amelia's On Fire. She broke away from Ginger, Celebrity Queen. Amelia's On Fire home in the classic. Amelia's On Fire beat the...
Amelia's On Fire takes out the feature of the day, but as we mentioned earlier when we were reviewing the 2-year-old race, this race here was a lot slower than what the juveniles went. So +2 to the 600, it was always going to set up for Amelia's On Fire.
Yeah, I think that takes away from the performance there. Thinking of going over east with Amelia's On Fire and targeting a 1,000-metre race at Moonee Valley, that to me makes a great deal of sense because I don't think she'd beat some of the other horses she beat on Saturday over 1,200 at Ascot in a few weeks' time. So she doesn't make the file. I'm forgiving Dig Deep here. He had a really horrible barrier draw. He had to carry 59 kilos because of what he did as a 2-year-old. Came home with the fastest last 4, 6 and 800 metres. He is going places during the carnival. Forgetting Amarillo Rose has now been totally exposed as being not of the top level. Led what was a slow tempo and came home with the slow sectionals. And you have to follow Celebrity Dream. She probably wants a lot further than 1,000 metres. She was disadvantaged by the on-pace bias of the tempo of the race, and yet she still almost won.
All right, from one Amelia Park winner to another, the last race was taken out by Strato Creed.
Along to the 600, Lauren Tinio shook them off for the moment, led by a length. Adrian McPhee, Cheston Flyers up running third. Then Peppy Jack in fourth placing. There's Strato Creed on the move, going around them prior to the home corner. Beauty Canas back towards the inside, then Sharp Bob off heels. Purist dropping out, then Express Flirt, Western King at the top of the home straight. Lauren Tinio led the way from Adrian McPhee, and Strato Creed winding up down the outside, coming on strongly at the 200. Strato Creed ranges up, grabs the lead. Sharp Bob making ground further back, but it's Strato Creed. Sharp Bob is starting to make ground quickly late. The shadows loom. Strato Creed desperately ridden though, and Strato Creed's going to hold on and gives a...
Strato Creed takes out the last in what was a pretty fast run race, recording an overall figure of -2.5.
Yeah, I think there's really one horse out of this race I want to follow. She had absolutely no chance on Saturday, and that was Lady Sass. She had to go back. In spite of the fast tempo, she still really wasn't close enough, and she had no chance from that wide draw. She's the forgive horse. She's also the follow. I'm sure she's a lot better than Graduation Grade. She needs a little bit further and certainly a better gate. Maybe Ascot doesn't suit her as much as Belmont does, but I think she's much better than 60 plus. And forgetting Velvet King here, he goes around a lot shorter than he ever should because of his colours. There's plenty you could suck out of this race though.
All right, let's have a look at the meeting in its totality and who are our star performers of the day.
Cup Nights, and Bernie Miller's been consistent in saying that when this horse got into better class races, he would run better ratings and would win races, and that's exactly what he did on Saturday. -6.7 overall, -4.7 to the class. He wins both of those awards. If you look at the closing sectionals, Platinum Bullet 11.25 with the fastest last 200, and Dig Deep was really, really good as well, 400 and 600. He is going places as a 3-year-old.
All right, some nice performers from the weekend. We'll take a quick break and we'll see how our tipsters fared in round 1 of the tipping competition. Welcome back to the run of the race, where it is time to have a look at the tipping competition. And round 1 meant everyone got to reset, everyone gets their opportunity. Were there a few newcomers into the competition as well?
Certainly was. We had around 600 people playing on Saturday, and you could have got nearly 2,500 points if you got the best possible results, which included 3 of the losers in Dark Musket, Sulphur Crested and the full quid in the first. Okay,
so it played to play each way on the weekend with some nice place dividends. Who was our weekly winner?
Max Hollis was the winner. He had 1,348 points and bits. He had Amelia's on Fire in the feature race. He had his big bet on that. He also found Cup Night and Validation. So well done to Max. He wins the first round, and of course, he's the first leader.
And of course, that puts him on top of the top 8 leaderboard. Is there much that separates the top to the bottom here?
There's about 200 and a bit points between first and 8th, but of course, 1,500 points is not a really big score. We saw some scores of 6,000 and 7,000 in the Belmont Park competition, so it only takes one race, not one meeting, to turn this all over.
And everyone gets the opportunity to do it all again this weekend. And of course, it's not too late to join as well. Join as you please throughout the course of the Ascot Carnival. But this weekend, there are some lovely feature races that we can try gain some points in. Let's take a look at the last 3 editions of the Northerly Stakes.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. First corner, immediately under the whip, Pornichet. Here comes Ideal Image with her run. Over on the fence, Finger Bus, and Perfect Reflection starting to let down with Lightning in My Veins, and Disposition further out is running on brilliantly. Ideal Image hit the front. Here's Lightning in My Veins though. It's Ideal Image and Lightning in My Veins. They went to the line close. Great finish in the Northerly. Silver Stream, Gaddings in on the rail, and back behind them, Disposition and Cosmic Storm. Great Shot led, Tradesman tackled it. Over on the outside, Meteoroid, Silver Stream into open space as well. Man Booker from the back of the field. Great Shot kicks Tradesman, and now Silver Stream. Great Shot, Silver Stream, Silver Stream. Silver Stream in the last stride. Here's Galaxy Star winding up. Like wheels now to the outside for its run. Into him, gets up near the fence. Great Shot's the leader at the 200. Man Booker. Here comes Galaxy Star winding up. Great Shot still in front. Man Booker draws level. Galaxy Star is gunning them down. Galaxy Star, Man Booker, Galaxy Star, photo.
What a thrilling edition last year's Northerly Stakes was. Man Booker beating Galaxy Star by the smallest of margins. Now let's have a look at the next feature race that we have on the day. It's the RS Crawford.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. Smoko still about a half on the inside, Potent Secret, but Malibu Style lays down the gauntlet to them. 2 lengths, Gigante, Rebel King, Malibu Style, Smoko, Potent Secret, the Great Southerner keeps giving though. It's Potent Secret, Malibu Style. Malibu Style gets his head in front though, does too well for them and wins the Crawford. Home he goes, Malibu Style from Potent Secret. About to let down, Durandell held up behind them there, can't get a go on as Whiting now goes to work on Volkov. 150 from home and Volkov on the outside reaches the lead from Tenterden. It's it then Durandell, but she's sailed away from them, Volkov. She's home in the Crawford, too good for them here, the mare. Volkov beat Durandell. Last of all, but Super Maxi about to open up at the 250, a length and a half in front of its stablemates. Lockroy, Durandell jostling together. Dainty Tess is starting to wind up, coming with a big run. Super Maxi tackled by Lockroy. Look at Dainty Tess. She's gunning them down. Dainty, yes, Dainty Tess. Dainty Tess in a thriller at the Crawford Stakes. She's come from last with a brilliant finishing run.
Great memories there of the mighty Dainty Tess winning last year's edition, and that was a great day for Team Morton, taking out both features on the day. New connections will get to their chance to do it this weekend on what is Oktoberfest here at Perth Racing.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of beers drunk in big steins. So if you're in the function, you get a commemorative stein to take away from the races, and I think there'll be a lot of people saying Grüß Gott and Tschüss all the way through the afternoon.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm assuming it's some sort of cheers.
Yeah, Grüß Gott is a Bavarian saying, and Tschüss is more all over Germany.
Well, they say you learn something new every day. I've learnt a little bit of German, so hopefully we can learn a little bit more this Saturday at Oktoberfest at Ascot. Looking forward to seeing you there, and if not, we'll catch you in next week's edition of The Run of the Race.
He makes her bid for a little piece of history.